I think, yeah, I think it makes sense because the Katars can kind of stuff out gauntlets if the gauntlets don't space it out super well. The Nair is really good against the gauntlet. Like you're falling down on gauntlets, you can throw out that Katar Nair and sort of stuff them out. The Nair gets stopped by the Katar downlight. A lot of Katar. Well, when I talk about a lot of Katar matchups, it's a lot about stuffing out the opponent using downlight and Nair. So those are two very, very good options that Viper can utilize. And back to Mammoth Fortress, Cake and Addy. They pick it like every time. And Viper and Aggz0, I mean, it's no surprise for anyone to pick Mammoth Fortress.
And here we go, Viper, Aggz0, Cake and Addy. I mean, here's the thing. We said last time that Cake and Addy were looking at Mammoth Fortress as their favorable map going into Game 5, but they weren't able to take that out. So we'll see how that goes up against the Viper and Aggz0 pick. Right off the bat, though, Cake going for the edge guard. And here's the thing, Cake, in the last game, his edge guarding was the thing to look out for because, up against Simple and Blue is more about neutral. But Viper and Aggz0 feel very comfortable off stage. So I would not be surprised if we see 3 players staying off stage for the most of the duration of this set. Even Addy is getting into it, and he is able to get some really good hits on the Viper.
And even though they've spent a lot of time off stage, nobody's lost their stock super early yet. It's been really clean recoveries from all of these players. And that's what you tend to expect from these teams. Addy, Cake, Viper, Aggz0 for pretty much all of 2018 was such a back and forth matchup between these two great European teams. And again, it's no surprise to see them in this top 3 right here, battling it out with their classic. Well, Viper on the Surrey, but for the most part, they're classic legend picks.
Ooh, and a nice side air from Viper. Is Cake going to be able to make the save? Addy didn't even need it.
Cake was just there for insurance. I got you. I got you.
Aggz0 does get taken out. And, I mean, it's been really close so far, but Addy and Cake are on the forefront of this. Okay, well, maybe not.
Yeah, commentator's curse. It strikes again.
Viper is in the orange, though. And the offstage play going on between these two teams is frequent but calculated. You know, like, no one's getting gimped in early white health because everyone's very aware about how to stay alive as long as possible on this offstage.
I fully agree. Fully agree. The offstage play has been pretty clean for the most part. Nobody's been really blowing all their options super early and getting knocked into that offstage. But what has been happening is a lot of the damage in these stocks has been taken from the offstage scenarios. And Cake right there cleaning the kill with the classic downlight ground pound. Like trying to get a neutral sig on Addy, but Cake is ready there with the recovery, and Cake has been cleaning up the stocks left and right in this game.
And there was certainly a question of between Viper, Aggz0, and Cake and Addy, who is going to have the stronger offstage play? And the answer definitely seems to be Cake and Addy. But every time they get that lead, Aggz0 and Viper clean it up as quickly as possible. That being said, Cake and Addy do seem to get the lead faster, though, and that's really all that matters as we go down into last stock here. As long as they can clean up these stocks faster, that's all it'll come down to.
And Aggz0 goes unpunished with the bear in neutral. Actually, I think it hit Addy too. It's losers finals. There's a lot of pressure on the line. You know, maybe punishing the bear isn't the easiest thing in the world. And Aggz0 somehow
trying to find
is making it work.
The edge guards here.
There's a lot of sword sounds coming out. Again, a lot more of a 2018 pick with 4 swords on the map. But oh,
what a nice side sig.
That was a great little 1-2 punch to confirm the kill.
And for the first time, it's down to Cake. He gets the recovery. He gets hit by the recovery. Viper takes that quick hit onto Cake, making sure that they don't lose that 2v1. And Viper and Aggz0 take game number 1, but it was so close.
Addy switching up to the Koji?
To Koji? What? That is not what I would have expected. But
well, there wasn't a lot of gauntlets in that game.
There wasn't. He did try to make it work with gauntlets off stage, but it seems like it wasn't working.
And Cake's bow tended to be working pretty well, so maybe he thinks like, well, if Cake's bow was working well, maybe I can make mine work as well. And it's an interesting pick, and they're also leaving open Great Hall, Shipwreck, and Miami. Maybe they know Viper and Aggz0 won't go to Miami because they really like Great Hall as a map, and I think Great Hall really favors bow and sword pretty well. You can control a lot of space, you can maneuver around on those platforms, you can hit aerial opponents with your nairs. Makes sense on the map.
What is that?
Yeah,
right off
Viper
the bat,
jumps to the
Viper
top of the
used
map.
all his resources to go up, and I was so afraid. Any other map, Addy had a chance of gimping Viper at white health. But of course, this is Great Hall, so very big kill ceilings up at the top.
If you're not aware, Addy is the slightly darker blue Koji. They're using the same skin, so it can get a little bit confusing. But Addy's the one with the tennis racket, and Cake is the one still alive.
A Viper using a neutral stick in the opposite direction. I'm not sure what his play was there, but it's okay. Aggz0 had it under control up against Cake here. And the early kill on Addy is turning out to be pretty interesting for the red team, as there hasn't been a quick trade going on in either direction. It does seem like Addy's going to be on the back foot for the duration of this game.
Seems like Aggz0's been all about that control, especially when he has hammer. Staying mostly grounded, which can be scary against that bow. They've got that sidelight and downlight, but he's been making it work and getting a lot of damage off against this Addy and Cake team. So Aggz0, I think, is definitely playing up to the level that we like to expect from him.
When Viper's is keeping Cake off of this weapon for such a long time, Addy gets the kill onto Aggz0 and immediately turns around and helps out Cake finally get his foot on the ground. The Viper looking pretty strong, and once again, the stocks are evened up between these teams. The damage is almost even as well. Any sign of leads for either team has dissipated, as they are both so close.
And Addy and Cake seem to be getting just hit after hit unanswered for the majority of these past, like, 20 seconds. They've just been going ham with this bow, and Aggz0 and Viper, they seemed like they had such a big lead, and suddenly Addy and Cake knocked them into kill
double bow
Cake
plays.
confirms the kill. Addy's got Viper cornered. It's looking good for the blue team with this Koji pick.
Now, Aggz0 down to last stock, and Addy and Cake are not letting up the pressure. They start a 1v2 combo, and then Viper tries to help, and immediately Cake takes that opportunity to eliminate Viper. And now, both stocks for Addy and Cake looking very good here for the team, but red team has had a history of bringing back those sort of deficits, so we'll see if they can do that once again. But Cake off stage, ground pound's coming out up against Viper, who's got to be so careful here. They're staying alive.
I don't know. 3 of the 4 past aggressive options I just saw from Aggz0 were a sword side sig. It looked like he was getting a little bit desperate to get the kill and took a little bit of damage for it and not punished every single time, but that is a sign of desperation when you start to throw out those sigs when you just got hit with a big damage comeback. You really want to get back into it, and so yeah, that pressure can take over and you can start throwing out those side sigs, and it seems to be affecting Aggz0 a little bit because he's entered the red on his last stock, and Addy is still on 2.
Ooh, gets the recovery.
Not gonna do it yet.
Not gonna
Great
kill.
Hall
This
once
is
again.
Great
Tall
Hall.
ceiling. And Aggz0. Second shot at life.
Oh, tries to go for that ground pound. The neutral stick is going to pick up Addy. If they can take out
and then
Cake
the
here,
caught Cake.
and
It
now
looked
it's
like
a
the sig
1v2.
caught Cake, and then it like hit Addy at the last second. But it didn't even matter because he got Cake anyway.
So if they can get a crazy 2v1 combo here up against Addy, that could do it, but they've taken so much damage, Addy only needs small hits to be able to take it here, and Viper does get knocked out by Addy. He's looking for the dare, and he is going to find it. Addymestic takes game number 2 here, and as we go into game number 3...
You
I wasn't able to see it. I
That was
wasn't able to see it.
734.
Oh, Cake work.
I think a lot of that was just from that second stock. The second stock in that game completely changed the whole pace around. Addy and Cake for a good 10 seconds or so just got hit after hit after hit and didn't get hit a single time themselves. So that was, I think, the real key in that match, the real turnaround point. And Aggz0 and Viper, they gotta somehow stuff out that bow because it's what's been, slicing them up. Slicing.
And if you're just joining us, we are in game number 3 of the lower bracket finals. Addy and Cake, Viper and Aggz0. What a set so far. It's been so close, and we're going back to that Great Hall yet again. Addy sticking with the Koji. It worked for him. He basically had a beautiful lead at the end there, feeling very comfortable.
All he had to do was just get a nice 1-2 on Viper and Aggz0, cleaned up the game, and Cake going ham off stage. Aggz0 He's got the potential to get a hammer recovery or something. Cake gets above him. Is he gonna confirm the kill? No, Aggz0 doesn't blow his dodge. That was good awareness from Aggz0. Instead of waiting and delaying the recovery and then using his dodge as his last option, he just went for the wall early. Might have gotten hit for it, but either way, VipR catching that neutralite to neutral sig. I think that catches 4 dodges. So
I mean, it's interesting because Cake actually landed on that platform and a dash came out instead, pushed him off stage, and VipR was able to do the chase dodge into the neutral sig to get that kill. Really well done by VipR. Good awareness there.
Seems like they're getting their head back into the game. Cake
Aggz0!
Cake going real deep. Covers
unable
to the
to find
side. No danger there. But he did take a bunch of damage on his second stock. If you look at the damage numbers, it would seem like a very even game, but Cake is on his second stock, so he's got to be very, very careful about that.
Oh, and now Addy getting taken out by VipR. Cake trying to support him with those nairs, but it didn't really help out in that scenario. VipR trying to get this kill on Cake. Cake doesn't have the option to cut back. Red team with these edge guards.
That was great by VipR. He stopped Addy from moving to the left and helping out Cake and going for the save by threatening that space and then going for the GC neutral sig that could have confirmed the kill. That was amazing offstage play from VipR.
Cake turning around and trying to get some good damage onto VipR, but they've got to find this kill onto VipR instead, finding the bow sider that bounced off the stage of all things. But of course, he's taking so much damage.
That's only his first stock. If VipR puts on any more pressure right now, like he's doing, he confirms this second kill on Cake. No, Cake gets chase dodge after hitting VipR. It's so threatening and so demoralizing when the opposing player that just died is suddenly putting on all this pressure onto you, especially since they already have the lead. Red team is starting to run away with this game.
Ooh, Cake finding the hits onto Aggz0. He's still trying to figure out whether he's going to continue that pressure, turn around, and help out Addy. And the ground pound actually hits Aggz0. But I think he was kind of going anyway.
Well, you don't want your teammate to help you go out. That's all I'm saying. They still look very comfortable. VipR seems to be in complete control. He's thrown out a few signatures that have gone unpunished. There's another one right there, although, to be fair, it's not like it was aimed at anyone. But even so, he's doing these GC sidelights in neutral. Finally gets taken out with the side sig, but not without a lot of damage put on the blue team.
And now Cake and Addy trying to move together as a team here. That is the only hope they have, considering the huge damage deficit. But Aggz0 and VipR split them up. Neutral sig from VipR to kill Addy. Recovery from Aggz0 to kill. And that is going to help VipR and Aggz0 move on into game number 4 here. They've got the 2-1 lead. They're looking for one more game to go up in the grand finals. Addy and Cake, are they going to make any swaps? Yes, they are. Cake is going to Barbara. Addy's going to Val.
Back to the classic. VipR got 5 KOs that last game. Every kill except for that last little recovery from Aggz0 was in the way of VipR. And that's no surprise if you were watching closely with that last game. VipR was seemingly complete control. Not only was he putting out the damage, but he had the stock lead over everyone else. And Addy and Cake gotta find some answer to this Asuri, otherwise they're gonna be neutral sigged off the map for like the 5th time.
And we're going back to Great Hall yet again. And this time, it's really up to Addy and Cake to survive. The edge guards coming out from Aggz0 and VipR, they have been textbook. But Cake's on that, Barbara now, and that axe is a force to be reckoned with.
We'll see if he can make the axe work, because it didn't seem to be doing that much against it was Simple and Blue in the winners finals. He was definitely favoring that spear. So
dude, VipR
he throws away his weapon. He's preferring the axe right now. We'll see what he can do with it. And Addy's still unarmed.
VipR did not let Addy land on stage for the first 10 seconds of that match. The constant pressure on Addy is actually a huge boon for the blue team. Addy still has no weapon. He has struggled so far in the beginning of this match.
They're trying to stop the clutch master from getting anything. And that's what you gotta do. Weapon starving is a very underrated strategy, I think, in 2v2. And 1v1 we see it more often. But in 2v2, the unarmed range is so puny compared to these big weapons like Hammer, that like Sword even.
Oh my god!
So that's Addy took a lot of damage.
Slide charge, neutral heavy from VipR to kill Addy on Great Hall, no less.
Even though he got that weapon, he already was at such a deficit, and Aggz0 and VipR run away with the first 2 stocks. First strike going the way of the red team.
Ooh, and VipR coming back on stage here. Addy and Kick are really looking for these final hits onto Aggz0 or VipR. Clean it up. Finally gets the recovery on one end and the hit on the other end to kill VipR. And it's back down to even stocks. Kick and Addy really haven't taken all that much damage.
Yeah, it's not that bad with the exception of that big guitar string right out of the gate from VipR. That's a way to make a statement right as you spawn. Bring someone from yellow to deep orange. And Addy's got to find some gauntlet string. He does on Aggz0. He's got to make these gauntlets work because game 1 he swapped off to the Koji because I'm assuming those gauntlets weren't working out. And he's telling him, you know what? My Val's still here. His signature legend. Everyone knows Addy for his Val, so it's no surprise that he's doing some work here against this VipR and Aggz0 team. But he is taken out a little earlier than he would have wanted, especially since he was just starting to get into his groove.
And now, on the even stocks here, Cake, he sent VipR off and instead disengaged, let Addy do the final hits onto VipR. The sword recovery is going to send him flying, but unable to kill off the top ceiling. Instead, VipR's going to continue to stay alive. There's the neutral stick. That's going to make it work. Cake is dominating right now, gotten 3 kills in a row without dying. That is a statement.
And in game 4, when you're down 2-1, you gotta pull out something like that, and that's why the Barbara pick came out. He's like, alright, this Koji isn't working, I gotta get something that I can kill with, and he picks up the Axe neutral sig left and right. That's a good play for Cake. That's what you like to see. That being said though, Addy is in the deep red, and a good down sig, a good downlight Sair from Aggz0, it'll take him out, so he's gotta be really careful. Cake's gotta kind of be the spearhead. He's got to put on pressure against VipR and Aggz0 because Addy can't really afford to take big risks.
Addy with that long ground pound that almost got the hit on Aggz0. And in fact, when Addy and Aggz0 both got sent by VipR's side air, I was sort of expecting the immediate wake-up turnaround side air from Aggz0 that probably would have killed Addy right off the bat. But instead, Addy's going to stay alive. He's going to continue to build up pressure. And maybe this is the time for the clutch. Cake goes down deep, finds the recovery onto Aggz0. Now it's all down to VipR for the red team. And weapon throw from Cake and Addy. They're trying to figure out a way to get this edge guard without being too risky here as everyone's in the red.
With these guitars, VipR's kill options are a lot more limited. He goes for the recovery. Addy's ready, scoops him up from underneath. And I think, yeah, that guitar pickup was definitely unfortunate for VipR. If he had the sword, his kill options were like he's had the Sair, he's got the downlight, he's got the down sig, but with the guitars, it's pretty much a signature or that recovery. And so he goes for the recovery. Addy knows it. He's ready. He picks up the kill. And a last stock red game from game 4 into game 5. This is a very similar situation.
Yet again.
Finals.
Addy and Cake against VipR and Aggz0. And I think everyone is settled on what characters they want to pick. And I wouldn't be surprised if they settle on what map they want to go to.
Great Hall. I think it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Great Hall. Great Hall. Actually, they might go Mammoth this game. Nah.
You think so? No, I think Great Hall. It's gonna be Great Hall.
I was playing devil's advocate. I knew they were going Great Hall. Addy's gauntlets seem to be doing a lot of work on Aggz0's second stock. And the fact that Addy lost his stock super early without getting a weapon and they still managed to take that game, I think that's a big boost of confidence for Addy specifically. Once he hit his groove, he was definitely doing work. So we'll see if he can continue that, or if VipR and Aggz0 can stuff him out once more. Doesn't look like the case. Addy just picks up a pair of gauntlets right away. Cake seems to be struggling against these VipR guitars.
Ooh, ground pound coming in from Addy? Oh, I thought he had the edge guard on Aggz0. Instead, Aggz0 picks up the recovery to get back on stage, immediately goes to help out VipR.
If Addy didn't go for that last recovery and instead waited and hit Aggz0 as he was trying to come up, he would have gotten that confirmed kill. But instead, Addy looks to be the one that's getting edge guarded by VipR here. VipR dodging outside of the ground pound. He goes for a deep ground pound. There's a lot of spaghetti off stage right now. It's game 5 losers finals. You can't blame him. Cake barely missing with that side sig. He gets the down sig. Aggz0 knocked underneath once more. VipR, that was clean. He stops the ground pound on the platform because he notices that Aggz0 is underneath him. And,
what a beautiful side sig!
He comes from all the way from the right side of the map, hits Addy to the left, confirms that kill.
What I love about that side stick is he started it behind Aggz0, which I think really caught Addy off guard. Wasn't expecting to get hit by the person who was even further back. But Aggz0 gets knocked out. VipR staying alive. Cake picks up the recovery, but not enough. And now VipR and Cake trying to see who's gonna lose their first stock last.
That's a good way of putting it. And it seems to be VipR is the one that.
Oh, Addy, he almost had the read there. He was looking for the turnaround, and he sort of found it, but the range was just not quite there. VipR went all the way around. And now VipR trying to weapon guard Cake. Cake hits him with an unarmed nair. VipR is taking too much damage.
Seems to be a similar situation from, I think it was game 3, where VipR was not only going ham, but he was also hanging onto those stocks.
Oh my god.
Cake's having none of it. He hits him on the backside of the recovery. But it might be a little too late if VipR has anything to say about it. Picks up that stare, goes for the ground pound. He's gonna do something. He's gonna do something again. I know it.
He went for that weapon throw. He's gonna let Aggz0 take out the dare, and this is the edge guarding from Aggz0 and VipR we've seen very sparingly, but very effectively. Once they're both up top, Addy and Cake have so much of a struggle to get back on stage. And right now, it's looking to be Red Team's game. VipR is looking so clean on this second stock right now. Aggz0's hanging on, but Cake and Addy on their last have taken so much damage.
Addy makes it out of 2 potential gimps, but not without taking all this damage into the orange. VipR getting knocked out, but with this big lead that Red Team has in this Game 5 scenario, gotta imagine they're feeling a little bit comfortable. Addy and Cake trailing in damage. Cake picks up the kill on Aggz0. VipR getting the stare. Addy's almost taken out. Down sig not going to do it quite yet. Addy backs off. He could have gotten the team combo, but he recognizes that he's in deep red. If the other teammate came to interrupt it, he might have died. Addy without a weapon once again.
Addy trying to find those axe hits.
Aggz0's looking for these nairs and these stairs. Addy is spacing around them.
Ooh.
He hasn't gotten hit in a good while. That side sig not gonna work twice on the 2v2 world champions.
VipR trying to get this kill on Cake right now.
Oh
no! Aggz0 gets the recovery
immediately. Really bad.
Immediately jumped up and just started nairing.
And the game is evened up. Addy gets taken out by the down sig.
It's up to Cake now. Can he make the clutch here? Neutralite onto Aggz0.
VipR's looking for the dare. The recovery, the back end hits him.
Oh, he tries to go
Just
for that dare.
above that dare.
Aggz0's just
goes for
sidelighting.
side light. VipR looking for anything? No, he just escapes. He's like, okay, I'm not gonna get hit again. Aggz0 with the downlight. The neutral sig. It kills off the top.
It gets the kill. Aggz0 and VipR going up to grand finals. Addy and Cake get knocked out in lower bracket. Finish 3rd place.